Good evening, everyone. Tonight I thought let's start on paint together. And I want us to kick this video off with another symbol. Oh my goodness, look at that circle. It's amazing how perfect the sun and the moon, how perfectly round they are. All right, so as we said in last previous video, this is the symbol for the earth. So the reason I started with this is, what does this show us? This basically shows us east, north, west, west, and south. So you've probably all heard the words news before. I know where news comes from: north, east, west, and south. Right. So that's the basically starting point of our astrology charts. Now let's erase this here. All right, so in our astrology charts, we have the same thing. We have a circle, which doesn't have a cross in the middle, but the cross is just extended to the side, showing east, or the ascendant. What is rising? Ascendant. All right. On the other side, we've got west, or the descendant. Okay. Then, of course, now in this case, it's not necessarily north, but it is what's pointing straight up into the sky. Think of the midday sun. So this is 12 o'clock basically. So our watches works according to this as well. And of course, on the other side, excuse this, 12 p.m. Well, midday. What is that? 12 o'clock midday. Okay, this one is 12 o'clock midnight. So this is, in astrology, we call this the midheaven. And this we call the IC. It's got some strange illuminuli. I can't remember how to say that word. All right, so that's the basic building blocks of the astrology chart. Then from there, standing on the earth, we extend this thing like a clock. Put one there, we put one there, we put one there, there. Okay, so imagine this is 6 a.m., 6 o'clock in the morning. All right, the sun rises. This will normally happen exactly, well, I say exactly, but only 2 days a year. On the 21st, around the 21st to the 22nd of March, which is Aries, March, which is, let's draw the Aries symbol. That's when the sun, remember the symbol for the sun was this one, when the sun rises at roughly 6 a.m. We'll go and confirm this now. The second time is the same days, but in Libra. Okay, in Libra, but I need to think in terms of the month, September, so September, 21st of September. So there we have the start of Aries on the 21st, and here we have the start of Libra, or also on the 21st, round about the 22nd of September. All right, that's 6 a.m. Okay, then the sun goes all the way up. It goes over to here. So we gave these sections names, and it runs in around about 2 hours. So this is 8 a.m., this is 10 a.m., this is 12, this is around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so 14, Okay, this is around about 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, so 16, let's say 4 o'clock, and this is 6 p.m. So this is when the sun sets. Okay. Then we can divide the evening hours up into the same section. So we go like this, and this. Right, this is 8 p.m. at night, 10 p.m., 12, it's 2 o'clock at night, this is 4 o'clock at night, and then of course 6 a.m. again. All right, now why do I explain all of this? Because this is very important in astrology. We call this section, this specific section, we call the first house. Okay. The section we call the second house, third house, fourth house. This is called the fifth house. Sixth house. Okay, you know where I'm going with this. I just want to draw it in so that we've got it all there. Okay. 10th house, the 11th house, and the 12th house. All right. So this is the first building blocks of our astrology chart when we are looking at the chart. I'm just going to erase certain things here so we have some more space. Okay. So guys, I'm still new to this, bear with me. Let's just get the necessary things here. Right, so next step. Now we're going to first put the stars in. So the first part of the astrology chart is basically built on the earth. Like we said, it comes from the symbol of the earth. Next, we're going to have another circle. And this circle is going to go all the way around, because when you look up at the night sky, you will see that everything basically rotates around the earth. So let's put the next circle in. There we go. Not so easy to draw circles on the computer. Okay, of course, we're going to bring in the stars here now. So like we said earlier, sometimes the sun will set here, sometimes or rise, the sun rise, 6 a.m., the sun rises. So that's why in the birth charts, now give me a second, I just quickly want to change. To change to another app. That's why we got this. Okay, so now I understand where this blank section comes from, or this blank chart. I couldn't get the north node and the south node out. I don't know why they wanted to stay in. Okay, so this shows us which stars are currently rising. This is our current time. Well, while I'm making the video, so it's going to change wherever you are whenever you watch this video, but making this video, this was the current time. So what was rising was Taurus, what was setting was Scorpio, in the midheaven we have Aquarius, and right at the IC we've got Leo. All right, now there's an important thing before we can continue with this. Something else I need to share with you guys. Thank you for bearing with me. I know there's a lot of information in this. Let's see if this one will work. All right, so this is an app called Stellarium. This is also showing the current position. This is like going outside, except you are doing it on your computer. It shows you exactly what's going on. Currently in the night sky, you can run the time forwards, you can run the days. It's very cool software. Check it out, Stellarium. It's for free on the internet. Right, so what we have here is the east point. As we said before, showing it in 2 dimensions as we did in Paint. This is just in 3 dimensions. Okay, so what we see in 2 dimensions is only this equinox line, basically. You can add declinations into astrology software, but I just want to explain where it comes from. Okay, so getting sidetracked there. All right, so this is the equinox point. As we said on the 20, let's go to the 21st of March. So here we set it on March the 21st. Let's go back to sunrise. Rewind it back a little bit forwards. And oh, Saturn also rose. Oh, there the sun comes. Okay. So as you can see, the sun rises exactly on the equinox line. So it's actually at 6:20, but this will change depending on your location on Earth and so on. The rising time of the Earth of the sun, I guess, will change them. Okay, so this is very important. Why? Because when we look at the stars that's behind the sun, oh, let me just zoom in again. If we look at the stars behind the sun, we see something very interesting. This is the sign of Pisces. You see the fish going down. There's another fish. I think I can put the labels in. Yes, there it shows. So Pisces. This is basically the constellation of Pisces. All right. Yet we say that on the 21st of March. Let me see if I can share that whiteboard again. So this is a very important concept not to grasp but to understand, because it shows us there's two types of astrology. You get sidereal astrology and you get tropical astrology. So this basically explains where both of these are coming from. So the 21st of March, when we look at sunrise at 6 a.m., 6:20 a.m., we see that the stars behind the sun is Pisces. Okay. And symbol, sorry for that. The symbol for Pisces is basically this. Because as we saw earlier, it's two fish. I'm going to jump back to that one. Let me share that screen again. So we can see it's two fish with their tails, basically with their tails combined. Okay, as you can see there. Now, I was not confused the two. In tropical astrology, we use this point that we see here, that we use as the start of Aries. All right, even though it is in Pisces, we use that as the start of Aries. Now I'm going to show you why it is in Pisces. Let's move back. You can see I'm moving it back year by year. It's a bit hard to see, but you'll see that the sun is slowly moving back through Pisces. Let's move this back a bit more. Let's go to 1,000 years ago. Oh, look where it's now, way down into Pisces. Okay, let's go to the year 0. Guess who was born there? Jesus was born. So in the year 0, the sun went into Pisces, the age of Pisces. Okay, if we rewind back to even further back, there we go. Let's go back another 2,000 years. Very cool. Very cool software that we can rewind time back so easily. So in the year minus 2000, 2000 before Christ, we see that the sun is rising in Aries. Okay, so can you see that the sunrise on the 21st of March is slowly moving back through the zodiac 1 degree every 72 years. And that basically gives us the age of Aquarius, which we are moving into. So let's go back to our current time. All right, so thank you for bearing with me with that deep dive into history, going back many moons. Okay, let's move it to 2025. So we are all talking about the age of Aquarius, and as you can see, there is Aquarius. This year, on the 21st, okay, it's already passed. The sun rose still in the sign of Pisces, basically. But this is another thing to take into mind when you look at the stars. Not all of the constellations are the same size. So what we do in astrology, we basically, like we said earlier on paint, let me see, how do I jump to that one? Paint, oh no, not that one. Sorry about that. I say paint. Oh no, I think this thing deletes. Deletes it every time. Okay, anyway. Let's continue. Let's go to paint quickly. One. Okay, bear with me, guys. Sorry about that. I'm still figuring out my technology here. My point was, we are slowly moving back into the age of Aquarius, and the sunrise on the 21st of March will only really go into Aquarius in, I think, about the year even further. Yeah, about the year 2300. So you see that when we look at the astrology charts, go to this one. All right. These sections that we drew earlier is basically 30 degrees of the sky. So we have 30 degrees, 60, 90. That's why we have a square. That gives us 90 degrees. And then here we've got 180 degrees. That's sunset, sunrise on the ascendant, sunset on the descendant. Okay. So now you see how this outer, when I spin this one, and I move it on by minutes. Okay, it's easier if there's a planet there, but you will see that it slowly moves through each sign as each sign basically arrives. You can see the same in this software. Oh, okay, wait. Maybe I must just share my screen, then it's easy. Okay, you can see the same on this software. Let's go back to our current time. There we go. Okay, so this is live Skype. So when I'm looking towards the east, I can see who's rising now. Let's see. We have to switch this off a bit. So Aldebaran is about to come up into the night sky. But remember, okay, so there's a big difference between constellations and signs. As we said, we measure the 0-degree Aries point, which I hope you guys are still following me. Let's go back to 0-degree Aries on the 21st of March. Remember, 21st of March is the starting point for this thing called astrology. Okay, there's many reasons we can dive into that later. I want to get to sunrise. Okay, so sun rises 20 past 6. There we go. Okay, so from that point, 30 degrees up, here you will see on the side, you will see these degree numbers. There's 0. That's where we start Aries on that 0 line. Then we have got 15, 30 degrees. Okay, so that's basically where Aries is. Sign of Aries. Imagine Aries over here. Even though it's in Pisces, remember, It's a slow that gives us the ages. The ages are 2,000 year cycle, 2,000 years that it takes to move for the sun to move through this basically into through Aquarius. There it enters a new sign. There it enters Capricorn. So you can see Capricorn, constellation of Capricorn dominates this part of the sky. But again, remember the constellations that we see in the signs are not the same. So this is Aries. And this is basically Taurus. Let me show you this way. I hope it set it to the same. Sorry about that. I realized it's getting a bit too intense there. So I'm going to show it one more way. So let's use the two apps together. Teams, forwards. Okay, so you see the line of the sun is exactly aligned with the equinox. All right, now let's go to this app. Then we go to the same day and time. So basically the 21st, let's just open the one. March. We have the same location, so that is fine. At 6:20. Okay, now I can explain it to you guys better. All right, so let's add the sun in, because that's the first one we've been viewing, and that's the sun. And, now all of them are back. Too many, I just wanted one. Why did you all come back? Fuel planets. Okay, how do I get on this? Okay, okay. So sun and the moon jumped in. Okay, for some reason, sun and moon. Okay, but that's fine. So as you can see, we've got 20 minutes past 6 on the 21st of March, and the sun is exactly rising here. It's sitting at 00 degrees of Aries. Important to see this differentiation. We can always change this, just for those of you, just to show, you can always change this to this one, sidereal. I'm just going to choose any sidereal one. All right, now you see, if you use sidereal astrology, the sun is in Pisces, right? Same as it is here, sun is in Pisces. That's what we call sidereal astrology. That's looking directly up into the sky. Tropical astrology says, okay, but this thing shifts. We see that every 72 years, the sun moves 1 degree slowly through the zodiac. All right, so basically, earlier I described it the wrong way around. This is Aries going down this way. So as you can see, the whole of the constellation of Pisces is basically Aries. And then the next 30 degrees, there you have the constellation of Aries, but this is Taurus. Okay, I know this is a lot to take in, maybe rewatch it. I hope it makes sense. That just gives you kind of an idea of what's the difference between tropical and sidereal astrology. Eh, if you want to discuss this more, let me know. All right, so I hope that made sense. I hope that kind of showed you where this chart comes from that we are looking at. Okay, let's go see the moon. So let's put the Earth back because it's nice in this app. You can take the Earth away. So then we have the Earth back. Moon. Where's the moon? Moon, where are you? There's the moon. All right. So the moon is basically very close to the heart of the Scorpio. So you guys all probably heard of the 13th sign. There's a lot of talk about, there's 13 signs in the zodiac, wada wada. Sure, the planets do move through Ophiuchus, but Scorpio and Ophiuchus basically kind of exist within the same 30 degrees of the night sky. Does that make sense? There you have Sagittarius, right, in its 30 degree section. We have Capricorn in its 30 degree section. We've got, ooh, there we spin around a bit. Okay, let's move this way. Sorry, it's not always easy to move. We've got Libra. So you can see Libra is a bit smaller. Libra only consists of basically 15 degrees, where the others consist of 30 degrees if you look up physically. So that's another tricky thing between tropical and sidereal astrology. You know, we try to divide up everything up into 30 degrees, but some of the constellations are bigger. Like look at Virgo. Let's take the ground away. Virgo, there's 15, 30, 45, almost 60 degrees. 60 degrees of the night sky is basically dedicated to Virgo. All right, then we go down, Leo. There's Leo, very important star. It's called Regulus. There's 4 important stars, same as we saw north, east, south, west. There's 4 stars that's very bright in the night sky, and it basically shows the 4 different seasons. Currently, let's go to our current time. There we are. Currently, we have, where are you now? Let's put the ground back so I can orientate myself. Okay, we've got Antares, the heart of the scorpion. See, it's the heart of the scorpion. And if we rewind the time back a bit, you'll see that when the stars become visible, say around 6 o'clock, that's about the time that the stars become visible. Antares is right in the midheaven. It's shining on down on us. Well, not right on the midheaven, but very close. Okay, so it shows a season. Then if we move it back a few months, you'll see that that's going to change. Okay, so we're still at the same time, looking up at the same place, but now all of a sudden, a few months later, it's not Scorpio anymore, but now we've got Regulus. Sorry guys, this thing is tricky with you. I'm making us all drunk. Goodness. When you're trying to look up. Okay, so that's another problem about the southern hemisphere is I can show this in some other video, but if you move to the northern hemisphere, the entire zodiac runs the right way up. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it basically looks like this. Everything is upside down, like the line is upside down. The twins are upside down. Maybe I must just quickly show you guys this. It's also very fascinating for me. All right, so let's move let's move location. Let's pick somewhere in the northern hemisphere. Let's say straight above us, because that makes timing a bit easier. Okay, where would you guys say we are now? Somewhere in Poland. Okay, maybe we are a bit far. Let's come down. That's very nice. We can travel here. All right, so now look at this. Let's go find the zodiac again. Ooh, all of a sudden, look there. Orion is running right way up. Taurus is right way up. Leo is right way up. So now we are actually looking south. We are looking south towards the zodiac. So you can see the line is right way up. It's chasing the crowd. All of the stars are basically right way up. Ophiuchus, the Scorpio, the Centaur, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. Let's look at Pisces. Okay, definitely swimming in both directions. Aries, there we have Aries. Okay, I hope I didn't go too fast, but let's jump back to the southern hemisphere where I'm located. Africa. Okay, I'm just going to choose random. Okay, I'm going to go back to this one. All right, so as you can see, when we are back in the southern hemisphere, let's put the ground back just to orientate ourselves. Okay, we are looking west there. Let's look north. That's east. Okay, there's north. All of a sudden, you will see the line is upside down. Okay, so that was another interesting thing that I discovered about the zodiac. So maybe, you know, I'll be open to discussions about this, what it means, why, how does that impact astrology? Right, so let's continue. I'm jumping around a lot, but I hope so far you are you are still keeping track with me. Let's go back to this one. All right, so now we've basically looked at the basics of this chart. As you can see, we've looked at the houses. So again, the houses are is west, east, easiest way to see the houses. So the houses are basically the first 30 degree of the night sky, right, from 0 to 30. Then you have the next 30 degrees. All right. And as you saw, the stars move through this. Okay, I'm going to stop this there for video number 1. This was a lot of information. Next round, we'll add a few more steps to what we just explored today. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. And I let's dive deeper into astrology. My aim here is to help you go research and look into your own chart to discover what the planets are saying to you, how they're communicating with you, how you can. This is another topic. This is not star worship. We are not worshipping the stars. We are observing. The stars and the planets are the same. During the day, so as you can see, sunrise, we basically have sunrise here. So this is the day chart, part of the chart, and the bottom is the night part of the chart. So when the sun is moving through the day part, we can see all of the plants. But when the sun is moving through the night part, we can see all of the planets. So plants and planets are similar. Okay, so you need to be aware of what plants you consume. Same way you need to be aware of the planets and the energy that they are producing for us, so that we can learn how to work with these energies. If I hope that makes sense. All right. Enjoy your evening. Bye. Or your day.